My family's been here forever. When my dad come home from World War II and he needed to make a living, come out here and develop the farm from sagebrush.
Every year, Craig Lobb and family grow 10,000 tons of alfalfa, the champagne of hay, in the southwest Utah desert.
Basically a matter of economics. We had to have a cash crop.
Alfalfa farmers like Lobb are trying to irrigate more efficiently. Water used to spray out of the top of this irrigation pivot, a lot of it evaporating before it hit the ground. But this long line of nozzles is still drizzling 900 gallons of water a minute. That means this field is receiving as much water every 2.5 hours as the average family of 4 uses in a year.
So about 2/3 of all the water that humans divert in Utah goes to growing hay.
Gabriel Lozada is an associate professor of economics at the University of Utah. He recently wrote an analysis on the amount of water it takes to grow hay. Let's put that in further context. I mean, if we were to stop growing hay today, how many more houses could we water in Utah?
We could increase urban water use 6 times.
Lozada's research found hay farming in 2020 was less than 1% of Utah's gross domestic product.
And so the price system doesn't work for water in agriculture. And that generates huge inefficiencies.
Hay also requires a lot of labor and diesel fuel. The Lobb family hauls their chopped hay to this production facility near Burl. The alfalfa is compressed into the cubes. Some is sold to Utah ranchers, but about 1/3 of the cubes go overseas. And where do you export to now?
We export to Japan and Taiwan primarily. We've become more efficient with this leafa system you see here behind me. We're close to 3 acre-feet now to raise the same crop that we was raising with 4 acre-feet earlier.
That doesn't mean that others can drink or bathe in the water that Lobb conserves. Utah law requires water rights holders put the H2O to beneficial use or risk the state taking the rights away.
Well, this is kind of the hot topic in Utah water law right now.
Emily Lewis teaches water law at the University of Utah. We met her at a special spot in Salt Lake City.
Here we are in City Creek, and on July 23rd, 1847, this was the place where Brigham Young's exploratory party first dammed up City Creek Canyon. And so this really is water right number 1 here in the state of Utah.
Lewis said Utah's legal community is trying to find a framework in which rights holders like Lobb can easily sell excess water to others.
But there are other states who have kind of looked at this and adopted their laws to recognize, a way to incentivize. I do think it's really important for the citizens of the state and water users to really understand and have an appreciation for how complicated water law is, and also how well it's actually really worked to get us to where we are today.
But I can't eat copper and coal and potash. So does economics take that into account when it judges resource allocation?
Free market economics doesn't really take that into account.
Utah grew less than 2% of U.S. hay in 2020. Lozada thinks a reduction in Utah hay would have little impact on food prices.
So it's not that farmers are doing anything bad, it's that the economic environment that we've put farmers in isn't appropriate for a climate that's getting more and more arid.
Unless somebody comes up with something better, it's the cash crop. It's the best crop for us to raise. You like to drink milk, you like beef, all these things that we raise. I mean, alfalfa directly is not any use to you, but it sure adds to your diet.